Today I'm looking at some of the most terrifying monsters and demons of Europe that are associated with the festive period and their Welsh equivalents. Christmas isn't all about cheer and light. Across Europe and beyond, terrifying creatures emerge during the darkest nights. Some may be familiar, others perhaps not. One thing is for certain, however, you would not want to be meeting any of these on a cold, dark winter's night. Please remember to like and share this video and hit the bell notification so you don't miss out on more creepy videos from Dark Wales Tours. While most celebrate Christmas with joy, others hear the whispers of ancient horrors lurking in the shadows. Across Europe and beyond, chilling monsters emerge each Christmas, weaving terror into the season. First up is the legendary Krampus. Krampus is one of the most terrifying figures in European folklore. A half-goat, half-demon creature who doesn't reward good behaviour like St. Nicholas. Instead, he punishes the wicked. Dragging rusty chains and carrying a sack or a basket, he beats misbehaving children with birch rods and drags the worst offenders away to his lair. The roots of Krampus lie in pre-Christian traditions, where horned deities were symbols of nature's power, fertility, and sometimes vengeance. Wales too has its share of horned figures. Gwrach-y-Rhibyn, a feared figure in Welsh mythology, was said to lead the wild hunt, a ghostly procession of the dead. Like Krampus, Gwyn was a figure of both respect and fear, an underworld king who punished wrongdoers and carried souls away. Even the horned Celtic god Cernus, worshipped across Europe, finds echoes in Welsh stone carvings and myths. Though his origins are ancient, Krampus is alive and well in modern culture. Every December 5th, Krampusnacht or Krampus Night is celebrated in Austria and Germany. People dress as the monster, running wild through the streets, cracking whips and spreading fear and cheer in equal measure. In recent years, Krampus has gained global popularity, with festivals now held in cities across the United States and Europe. Krampus has even stepped into the spotlight in popular culture. He's become a favourite in horror films, such as the 2015 movie Krampus, which brought his terrifying legend to Hollywood. Krampus reminds me in some respects of the Horned King in the Disney movie The Black Cauldron, which is based on a series of books by Lloyd Alexander called The Chronicles of Prydain, which in turn are incidentally based on stories from the Mabinogion, a centuries-old Welsh catalogue of folk stories and legends. Could Krampus's resurgence be a call back to the primal fears buried in our collective memory? In Wales, the Yule season also carried a sense of foreboding. Winter solstice celebrations were marked by the acknowledgement of dark forces and the thin veil between worlds, just like Halloween time. The horned figures carved into Welsh stones hint at shared beliefs across Europe, an acknowledgement of nature's duality, life and death, joy and terror. There were many other alpine monsters that would haunt your nightmares. Maybe lesser known than Krampus, but equally terrifying, was Frau Perchta, better known as the Christmas Witch. Frau Perchta was no bringer of joy, as she was also known as the belly slitter. She was said to punish laziness and greed during the 12 nights of Christmas. Those who failed to clean their homes or finish their work would meet a gruesome fate. she would slash their stomachs open and fill them with straw or pebbles, leaving their bodies as a grim warning. Surely enough to inspire even the laziest couch potato to tackle the housework this festive season. Frau Petra's origins lie in the pagan traditions of the Alps, where she was once said to be a goddess of spinning and domestic order. Over time, Christianity turned her into a symbol of punishment for the lazy and the greedy. Wales too has stories of vengeful female spirits. The Gwrach-y-Rhibyn, a banshee-like figure, is said to wail outside homes, warning of death or catastrophe. Tales of her haunting lonely paths or abandoned homes reminds us of the fear of unseen forces lurking in the darkness. The Gwrach was often said to fly into people's homes to take their souls back to hell with her. Whereas Petra would seem to punish those who failed to do something or complete a task, the Gwrach seemed to be far less discriminate and would claim any soul she could get her hands on, although showing courage and bravery in the face of her evil was said to ward her off. Today, Frau Petra's terrifying image is kept alive in alpine regions during winter festivals. Masked performers dressed as the belly slitter march through the street, clanging cowbells and brandishing knives. The masks are often grotesque, with hollow eyes and sharp teeth, reminding people of the consequences of sloth and greed. In Wales, echoes of this tradition can be seen in old mumming plays, ritual performances meant to uphold social order and warn against breaking communal norms. And of course, there is always the legendary Mari Lloyd, as mentioned in our other Christmas videos. In the icy wilderness of Iceland, a far more monstrous punisher emerges during Christmas. Gryla, the child-eating giantess. Legend says Gryla descends from her mountain cave each Yule season, sniffing out naughty children. She stuffs them into her sack and drags them back to her lair, where they meet a horrifying end in her cauldron. Gryla's insatiable hunger for misbehaving children has made her one of the most feared figures in Icelandic folklore. Gryla is one of Iceland's oldest and most horrifying legends. First mentioned in medieval manuscripts, Gryla was originally a symbol of winter's cruelty. Over time, she became a child-snatching giantess who terrorised the countryside during Yule. Her hunger is insatiable, and her favourite dish? Naughty children, cooked slowly in her cauldron. Some versions of this tale even claim she can smell misbehaving children from miles away, tracking them down to drag them back to her lair. But Gryla isn't the only terror of the Icelandic Yule season. Her companion, the Yule Cat, is a massive, menacing feline that stalks the snowy countryside. Its victims? Those who fail to receive new clothes for Christmas. The Yule Cat devours anyone who doesn't meet this seemingly trivial standard, turning laziness or poverty into a death sentence. Imagine the terror of the poor children, whom, if they misbehaved, would not only fail to receive a gift of clothes, but the threat of being devoured by a monstrous beast. Maybe a far more inspiring message to behave to ensure you're not on the naughty list. Wales has its own feline horrors. The Cath Palug, a spectral cat from legend, was said to terrorise villages and was so fearsome it took entire armies to confront it. In other tales, black cats were considered omens of death, haunting graveyards and crossroads. Like the Yule Cat, these creatures embody the fear of nature's relentless and predatory side. Across cultures, figures like Petra, Gryla and the Yule Cat serve as harsh enforcers of winter's demands. They remind us that the darkest nights of the year were once filled with terror, when survival depended on preparation, order, and respect for the old ways. In Wales, the winter solstice brought its own warnings of spirits, monsters, and the thin line between the living and the dead. These monstrous figures are guardians of the old ways, enforcers of tradition and symbols of humanity's deepest fears. Each one serves as a reminder that the darkest nights are not without consequence. Across cultures, these stories share a universal truth. Our actions matter. Be it Frau Pecht's knife, the Gwrach-y-Rhibyn's wail, or Cath Palug's deadly strength. These figures remind us that our choices have consequences. They are the echoes of a time when survival depended on community, hard work, and respect for the forces of nature. These monsters may seem distant, but their warnings remain timeless. Behave well, respect others, and prepare for what lies ahead. For the dark nights of winter still hold their secrets, and you never know what might be lurking just outside your door. These are just a handful of my favourite Christmas monsters, but this is just the beginning of such legends. What are your favourite Christmas monsters and myths? Do you know of more chilling creatures from Wales, Europe, or beyond? Please share your favourite legends in the comments, and let's uncover more of the darkness hidden in the holiday season. Thank you so much for watching, and please check out our other Christmas videos and countless other videos about the various myths and legends of Wales and around the world. I hope you've enjoyed our journey through the darker side of Christmas, and I look forward to seeing you on the next one. Thank you very much, and as always, please remember, be careful out there.